Defendant from gallery?
Yes.
Did you send the case to the Tetrarch?
Yes, Procurator.
What did he say?
He refused to give his conclusion on the case. He sent the sentence of death for you to confirm it.
Bring the defendant. You incited the people to ruin the temple of Ierushalaim.
Good man. Believe me.
I see you call me a good man. Centurion Ratman to me. This defendant call me a good man. Get him out of here for a moment and teach him how to answer my questions. But don't cripple him.
You must call the Roman procurator, Hegemon. Don't say unnecessary words. Stand quietly. You understand me? Or I will lash you.
I understand you. Don't beat me.
Name.
Mine?
Mine I know.
Ieshua.
Have you a nickname?
Ganozri.
Where are you from?
I am from Kamala.
What is your bloodline?
I don't know for sure. I don't remember my parents. I was told my father was Syrian.
Tell me your permanent residence.
I have no residence. I travel from town to town.
I can say that shorter. Vagrant. Have you got any relatives?
No, I am alone in the world.
Can you speak any other languages besides Aramaic?
Yes, Greek.
Why did you decide the people to ruin the temple of Ierushalaim?
Hegemon was never going to ruin the temple, and I didn't incite anyone to those meaningless actions.
A lot of people come to Ierushalaim for the holiday. Magicians, wizards. Also, you can find liars among them. For example, you are a liar. It says clear. You incited to ruin the temple of Ierushalaim. A lot of people testify that.
Those kinds of people didn't listen to me, and mixed everything up. Frankly speaking, I have a bad feeling this confusion will last for a long time. That's because he didn't write down my words correctly.
Stop pretending to be a crazy one. This parchment says a lot for you to be hung up.
Hegemon, really a young man followed me with a gold parchment. He was writing every my word. But one day, I looked at his parchment and was struck. I didn't find any of my words in it. I asked him to burn down his parchment. But he snatched the parchment out of my hands and ran away.
His name?
Levi Matvey. He was a tax collector. He initially disliked me. He even tried to insult me. I mean, he thought he could insult me by calling me a dog. As for me, I don't see anything wrong to be offended by this word. But having heard me out, he at least calmed down. Then he threw his money on the road and said he would follow me, and said it absolutely seriously.
Tax collector, you hear? He threw his money on the road.
Yes. He said he hated money since that moment, and became one of my companions.
Levi Matvey?
Yes, Levi Matvey.
Tell me, what did he tell about the temple in the bazaar crowd?
I said the temple of the old faith will collapse, and a new temple of verity will be created. And I said it clear for everyone to understand me.
Why did you embarrass the people in the bazaar, telling them about verity, about which you have no idea? What is verity?
First of all, verity means you have a bad headache, and you have it so bad that you are ready to commit suicide. Not only you have no forces to speak to me, but you can hardly look at me. And now I am involuntarily your executioner, and it makes me sad. You cannot even think about anything. There is the only thing that you want. You want your dog to come, as it is the only being you are attached to. But your suffering will end now. You will get rid of your headache. That's all. You are feeling well now, and I am really happy for you. Egemon, I suggest you should leave your palace for a while, and take a walk somewhere around. I think at least in the gardens of Mount of Olives. Thunderstorm will start by the evening. The walk would give you a great good, and I would keep your company with pleasure. You know, Egemon, I have some new ideas that can be of interest to you, and I would gladly share them with you. I want to say, you make an impression of a very intelligent person. It seems to me you are too closed, and lost faith to people at all. Agree, you cannot put all your affection in your dog. Your life is poor, Egemon.
Make his friends free. How did you know I wanted to call my dog?
It is not difficult. You were moving your hand through the air, as if you were going to call your dog. And your lips.
Tell me the truth. You're a great doctor.
No, procurator. I am not a doctor.
Okay, if you want to keep it in secret, keep it. It has no direct relation to your case. Well, can you confirm you didn't incite the people to ruin, or maybe to set fire to the temple?
Egemon didn't incite anyone to these disgusting actions. You think I look like a narrow-minded?
Oh no, you don't look like a narrow-minded. You have to swear you say the truth.
What do you want me to swear by?
By your life at least. It's just in time for you now. Because your life is hanging by a thread.
Maybe you think, Egemon, you hung it. If it is, you are deeply mistaken.
But I can cut this hair.
You are mistaken again, Egemon. You should agree. The one can do it. Who hung it?
Now I don't doubt that idle people followed you everywhere in Ierushalaim. I don't know who hung your tongue, but you are a reasonable person. By the way, is that true that you came to Ierushalaim on a donkey's back through the narrow gate? And all people were following and greeting you as some kind of prophet.
You know, I have never had a donkey, but you're right. I really came through the narrow gate, but on foot, and the only one who was my companion, Levi Matvey, and nobody greeted me, because no one knew me then in Ierushalaim.
Don't you know by chance Gestas and Varavan?
No, I don't know these kinds of people.
Tell me, why every time you say the word kind people, you call everyone like this?
Everyone. There are no evil people in the world.
And you preach it?
Yes.
For example, Centurion Mark, he got a nickname Ratman. You will say he's a good man too?
Yes. But he's a not happy man, since the time when kind people had mutilated him. He became cruel and callous person. I'd like to know who could mutilate him.
Kind people. They pounced on him like dogs on a bear. The Germans grabbed his neck, arms and legs. Infantry Menippean got into encirclement. And if the cavalry Turma had not gotten into the flank, I then commanded it. You wouldn't have a talk to him now.
If I had a chance to have a talk with him, I'm sure he would change dramatically.
This will not happen, fortunately. Believe me. Right. I investigated the case of Ieshua, nicknamed Ganodri, and didn't find any elements of crimes. In view of this, the procurator does not approve the decision of the small Sanhedrin on the death penalty of Ganodri. But taking into consideration that Ganodrin's insane, utopian speeches can cause unrest in Ierushalaim, the procurator expels Ieshua from Ierushalaim and confirms him for imprisonment in Caesarea, the Stratoric in the Mediterranean. That is exactly where the residence of the procurator's location. Is that all about him?
No, unfortunately. The law on insulting majesty allows the use of capital punishment for every day, including holidays. Children are also condemned under this law, together with defendants, and in some cases children of children. The relatives of executed are forbidden to mourn them.
Listen to me, Ganodri. Have you ever talked anything about Caesar?
It is easy and pleasant to tell the truth.
It's not important for me to know if it's nice or not nice for you to tell the truth. You will have to say that. But saying that, weigh every your word. If you don't want an inevitable and painful death, so answer me. Do you know Judah of Kiriath? And what did you tell him exactly? Of course, if you told.
There is how it was. The night before yesterday, I met a young man near the temple. He introduced himself as a Judas from Kiriath. He invited me to his house in the low town and treated me.
Kind man.
Yes, pretty good and curious man. He had the greatest interest to my thoughts. He gave me a cordial welcome.
He lit the candles.
Yes. He asked me to express my view of state power. He was of much interest by this question.
And what did you say? Or you will say you don't remember what you said.
And on others. I said that all kind of power is violence against people. And the time will come when there will be no power in the world. And all people will go into the world of truth and justice. No one will need any power in that world.
Further!
There was nothing further. Then some people broke in to tie me up and bring to the jail.
There has never been, and will never be, greater and finer power for people than the power of the Imperator de Veras. And it is not for you, crazy one, to discuss it. Take the convoy out of the balcony. Leave me alone with the offender. This is a state affair.
I see, Gimon, that some kind of trouble happened because of my having talked to that young man. I, Gimon, have a bad feeling. I think something bad can happen to him. And I feel sorry for him.
I think there is another one whom you should feel sorry for. And this is not Judas of Kerath. So, Mark Ratzman. Cruel and convinced executioner. The people that I see beat you for your sermons. The robbers, Dismas and Gestas, who killed 4 soldiers. And finally dirty traitor Judas. All of them good people?
Yes.
And the word of truth will come?
It will, Gimon.
It will never come! Offender! 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 Ieshua Ganozri. Do you believe in any gods?
God is one. I believe in him.
Then pray to him. Pray hard. However, that won't help. Hateful town. If they'd put a knife in you before a meeting with Judas of Kerath, it really would have been better.
Why don't you let me go, Egimon? I see they want to kill me.
Do you suppose, wretch, that the Roman procurator will let the man go who has said that you have said? You think I'm ready to take your place? I don't share your thoughts! And listen to me. If from this moment on you say even one word, if you speak to anyone at all, I repeat to you, beware! Beware of me.
Egimon.
Silence! To me. I confirm the death sentence passed on Ieshua Ganozri. Summoned to the palace, head of the Secret Service. Then the president of the Sanhedrin and the head of the temple guard in Ierushalaim.